Annabelle Corley, shave your knuckles for justice. American government give you your desperate citizens health care, food, and shelter. Otherwise, you will be sacked and charged with neglect. Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody warned me about Obama too the first time, but I didn't listen. Yeah. Force them. Graham, should I be worried for foreclosure? I'm 7 months into forbearing. I'm so sorry to hear that. I went through that experience. I don't know. I talked to a lawyer and I still ended up losing my home. Try to negotiate with the banks to just cut some of your payments down, like get rid of it. I don't know what. I went through bankruptcy and foreclosure 10 years ago. It was brutal. So I hope that doesn't happen to you. Get as much information as you can. Just know the banks don't give a fuck about you, and the government, Republican, Democrat, they don't care about you. So do what you got to do to protect yourself. You know, if the real estate market is still high where you live, you might think about selling because it's probably going to crash. There's a real estate bubble. So I don't know. But I'm sorry you're going through that. I called both Mark Pocan and AOC, let them both a message about withholding their vote and proving they're actually true progressive. It felt great. Yeah. Let them know. Let them know. $357 likes. Let's get them up there, folks. All right, let's do a segment. Force the vote. Boo, boo. The Dems crash your Nissan Leaf. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Boom. Oh, you come to YouTube for the truth because the corporate media is going to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie, right? Joe Biden, no, it's so, his cabinet's so progressive. And they're doing the same thing Obama did. Oh, it's look at how diverse it is. Women, people of color. But there's no diversity of ideology. There's no diversity of ideology. It's all people that are pro-war, pro-banking, pro-oil, no Medicare for all. We're not going to ban fracking. And that's who's going in his cabinet. Heidi Heitkamp, she gets oil money. All these people with family ties to Epstein. Just awful. And so who's this now? Look how the corporate media covers this. All they talk about is the first ever. Okay, it's significant. The first ever, right? Breaking CNN politics. Breaking. President-elect Joe Biden has selected retired Army General Lloyd Austin to be his Secretary of Defense. The source says he is, if confirmed, he would be the first black man to lead the Defense Department. See, doesn't that look good? Well, that's progress. That's change. That we're moving forward. A sitting board member of Raytheon should not be Secretary of Defense. Oh, weird. CNN just happened to leave that out. That this guy is a sitting board member of Raytheon. Neera Tanden's on his cabinet, a woman of color. Neera Tanden, if you read WikiLeaks, shows that she's in favor of bombing countries for their resources or taking countries over and selling their resources, getting their oil so we can bomb more. Just awful. And liberals eat this up. They won't hold Biden accountable. The first ever black man to be Secretary of Defense on a country that outspends the next 10 countries combined. That's not progress. I'm all for diversity and people of color, but there's no pacifists in his cabinet. There's no socialists. There's no labor, people with a strong labor background. There's no pro-environmental people in his cabinet. It's all pro-banking, pro-Wall Street, pro-war. This guy works for Raytheon. Do you think he's going to stop bombing people of color that are poor in the Middle East just because he's black? No. Obama didn't. He dropped more bombs than Bush. Condoleezza Rice, hey, she was the first ever woman of color. She had an oil tanker named after her. Do you see this is the diversity of the ruling class? And this is how they get liberals to vote against their own interests. You see this photo, you see this breaking news, progress. There we go, Joe Biden. I mean, he's not perfect, but better. I mean, it's just better than Trump. Do you think the people in the Middle East are going to give a damn that they're getting bombed by the first ever black Secretary of Defense? The first ever female black vice president? Do you think people that are being tortured in Guantanamo Bay or other CIA black sites are like, oh, thank God I'm getting tortured by the CIA that now has the first female head of the CIA? This is not change. This is not progress. This is the illusion of progress. If it was like Cornel West was going to be in his cabinet, I'd be like, damn right. Now we're talking. Is Nina Turner? I would love it if Nina Turner was in his cabinet. Nope. Who's going to Surgeon General? Is it going to be Victoria Dooley, who's for Medicare for All, who was a Medicare for All surrogate for Bernie's campaign, who I had on this show? Is she going to be in his cabinet? Absolutely not. She's a black woman who's a doctor who's for Medicare for All. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait, I thought we were all diverse and yay and diversity and no? Oh. And as soon as this gets announced, oh, look at that. House chairman endorses Florida to be Biden's Secretary of Defense nominee. So it's just more war people. Remember when Obama's cabinet was all Goldman Sachs people? Citibank, a leaked memo of Citibank, who they recommended to be in Obama's cabinet, and all of those people were in Obama's cabinet. Like Citibank picked his cabinet. This just keeps happening. You think this is different? That's how they're tricking. Vote any blue will do, people. Big progress. No, we're going to keep bombing poor people. We're going to keep spending money on military while people in America are literally going hungry. 54 million Americans are food insecure because of pandemic. Record lines at food banks. But Congress, the democratically controlled Congress, just approved a $780 war budget that this first black guy is going to be in charge of. Oh, great. To the parents and the family members of the 85,000 dead children in Yemen, a war started under Obama, continued by Trump. Are you celebrating? No. All they see is the American empire. Great. Biden and Harris, they're going to put rainbow flags on all the drones. Man, that's progress. That's such great progress. It's such great progress that our tax dollars that aren't going to feed Americans during an economic shutdown due to a pandemic are going to bomb people even more poor than Americans in countries that won't give up their oil or let us put a pipeline across it. Here's a picture of Steve Mnuchin holding up a wall of money. Right? He was the head of One West Bank, committed mortgage fraud, could have been prosecuted by then Attorney General of the state of California, Kamala Harris. He donated to her AG campaign, She didn't prosecute him. Then he donated to her senatorial campaign. And she voted to nominate him as Secretary of Treasury. Do you think anything's going to change? Why is a Raytheon board member the secretary? Isn't that a conflict of interest? No, it's not. Here's how Raytheon operates. This is Raytheon ad I love showing. Looks like it's some cool tech. Is this a video about traveling, about meeting new people, experiencing different cultures? Nope, it's about war.
We see these beautiful pictures at night from the decks of these two U.S. Navy vessels.
That's all money that could be for schools that Brian Williams is whacking off about.
I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen, "I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons."
I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. Those went to go kill poor people in Syria. That's what he was talking about. When Trump first did his first bombing, active bombing as president, and Fareed Zakaria said, Trump became president today. And Brian Williams said, oh, I'm guided by the... When you were dancing in the streets when Biden was named the winner, was it just because you needed something to cheer about? Okay. Did you realize you were cheering for Raytheon? Raytheon is running the Defense Department. Remember when Rex Tillerson was named Secretary of State? He's a former Exxon. So Exxon was running the State Department. Raytheon's running the Defense Department. I can't watch the video anymore. But you know what else is on Raytheon's page? Oh, they give money to the Girl Scouts. Yeah. So when next time you go buy Thin Mints, know that they're now being groomed as sort of the Girl Scouts aren't just like empowering young girls to be strong women and leaders in their community. No, now they're just a paramilitary organization. But look, rising to the challenge, Girl Scouts across the country test their cyber skills. This is from Raytheon's website. It's diverse. All this money and technology could be spent to end hunger, to end climate collapse. Who's the number one polluter of the world? The United States military. Nothing is going to change. Joe Biden said it. Nothing is fundamentally going to change. And you know who's ecstatic about that? Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman. Did you know that the CEOs of all the major bomb makers basically are all women? That's such great diversity. That's what we need. Again, I'm not against women or people of color being in any of these positions. We need to get rid of this. The solution is not to put a woman as head of the CIA. The solution is to get rid of the CIA. The solution is not to put the first black man in the Defense Department. Why don't we have a Department of Peace? Why don't we have somebody who's a whole department, federally funded, whose job it is to sow peace around the world? We don't do that. We bomb it so Brian Williams can, lie about riding on a Black Hawk because he's a punk. I've actually been on a bunch of them, Brian. I didn't have to lie about it. So you think the media, that's why CNN did that. So, they don't talk about that he's from Raytheon. You have to go to Twitter and then this show to find out about it. Why? I show you this all the time. The White House, the CIA, and the Pentagon feed stories to these three agencies who then feed it down here. There's CNN. What comes through this filter? Don't mention he's on Raytheon's board. Maybe they'll mention it just briefly in the story, but they won't say this is a severe conflict of interest. No. Our government is just a joke. It's just a joke. It is just a kleptocracy run by oligarchs. Raytheon's going to run the Defense Department, guys. The Surgeon General will probably be somebody picked by Pfizer or whatever, you know. Unreal. That's what the lesser of two evils gets you. When you keep voting for the lesser of two evils, you get Raytheon in the Defense Department. But Americans, we don't see this war. We don't see drone strikes on our soil. So we don't care. 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 I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up. When we start drone striking our own citizens? We bombed people in Philadelphia in 1984. Finally, the city of Philly finally owned to that. What's it going to take? People protesting in the streets because they've been evicted and they're hungry and the government's give them no money. And then they're going to rise up. And so the government's going to send drone strikes. Is that when you go, oh, wow, maybe we shouldn't let Raytheon run the Defense Department? When real lefty progressives like me on this show were all screaming, no, Joe Biden. I don't want Joe Biden. I don't want Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris dropped out before Iowa. Joe Biden had no one at the Iowa caucuses. Nobody was caucusing for him in Iowa. They made him president because he's good for business. The first this and the first that. Neera Tanden. Oh, God, these are awful people. These are awful people. I'm glad you come to this show to get the facts because CNN is going to feed you a bunch of bullshit. Any of your friends or family that watch CNN or MSNBC, and they're all doing high fives and black backflips about, oh, finally real change is coming. It is window dressing. Identity politics is window dressing so that the military industrial complex can keep making trillions of dollars. We've been in Afghanistan for 19 years. Imagine if we had that money for our own country. Instead, tent cities. Instead, food lines miles long. Today, right now, not the 1930s, today. All right. Thanks, everybody. Lesser two evils is still evil. And Raytheon is fucking evil. And this general, he's going to do evil shit because he's going to bomb. He's paid to bomb. He'll make money from bombing. Joe Biden will make money from bombing. Kamala will make money from bombing. Neera Tanden will make money from bombing. And your tax dollars will go to kill people, poor people, people of color. If you're all about diversity, are you okay with all these poor people of color getting their life destroyed? And that's money that could be helping Americans. You run a small business. Did you get a PPP loan? No. You lost your business already? Oh, well, Raytheon got money. Tom Brady bought a yacht. So there you go. USA, USA, USA. Jesus. Shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.